What's good, y'all? It's your boy D the Duel is back at you again. About to tell you just about my experience at the Case Tourney they just had in Kenner, Louisiana for the new Power of the Elements. So the set just came out with sneak peeks this weekend all across the, country shooting. They had a Case Tourney out there at Pandemonium Gaming. So I really appreciated going out there. I ended up getting top 8 with my my branded Trickstar Artifact Kaiju. That's best, that's the best way I describe it to folks now. Shoot. But I had a great time. Food was good, very nice. Business. They had everything we needed. Tournament went very smooth. We started, around about 3:20, and we finished up. We finished up with our Swiss rounds at a very good time. We even had a playoff. I ended up going X1-1 in Swiss, so I went 4-1-1 at our 6 rounds. With my deck. So I'm very proud of the deck. I've been working on the deck for good little minute. So, and that reminds me, if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe and, go back and check out my deck list. And I'm going to be doing an updated deck list for the, for this deck since, I just, topped the tournament with it. But, I've been testing with it, been playing with this deck for about 2 weeks. Just experimenting. And, I was happy to be able to top the case tournament, even one half a box. So, I just want to talk about my rounds. So first round, I went against Brave Punk Dragonlink. Ended up winning that one 2-1. It was a very tough matchup against a real good kid. Like, he was very solid Brave Dragonlink player. And so he had me game 1. I tried to draw reincarnate him, and he had a lot of chains going off. When he was resolving his Brave engine. So I wasn't really able to catch him. And then game 2 I did draw reincarnate him, and I was able to get him. And then game 3. Real battle of attrition, going back and forth, and we were both on top decks, and I top deck into a light stage, give me to a Candina. He was able to Veiler the Candina. And on his turn, he couldn't draw anything. And my next turn, I actually drew a Candina that helped push me, keep my light points up in order to win the game. So that I started off with a win. Next round, that's when I had my first, had my loss. I lost against the same deck. I lost against the same deck I just played first round. Was the Punk Brave Dragonlink deck, 60 cards. And played against my guy Sam, he stopped one of the guys, sponsored by one of TCG. Shout out to them. Sam, game 1, he went first, and he opened up pretty much the nuts. All I had was one hand trap, and that was Droll. And he had the call by the grave 60 cards for us. So he got game 1. Game 2, I made a real critical misplay. That's the point of playing in tournaments. You want to go back and think about, how can you be better? On the way you can get better if you recognize your mistakes. And so he had activated the Brave continuous spell Faithful Adventure. And when he activated Faithful Adventure to search the Griffin, I had a Artifact Sanctum set. So I was technically I had to chain the Sanctum right then, and I knew that, but it didn't come to me in time. So I'm like, okay, because if I do it on resolution, you can just chain the Griffin. The Scythe comes out, Griffin comes out, and then you activate Scythe Effect, Griffin negate, which is exactly what happened to me while I was playing. So, I ended up losing that one. Then my third match, I went up against Maricess. So a deck I'm kind of not too familiar with, haven't played against it in the tournament before. But I had tested with it, tested against it with my boy Don. Shout out to Teflon Don, YGO. Y'all like and subscribe to him. But that deck, he got the first game, man. In the first game, he said something that kind of made me kind of upset. He had said, somebody asked him how he was going, and I had played my first Trickstar card. So he saw I was playing Trickstars, and he said, oh, it's going good now. So they kind of put a little fire under me. So he did get me game 1. Game 2, I was able to capitalize and OTK him. Game 3, I was able to keep my life up, and he didn't have enough time to, to win. So actually, the burn, that Trickstar, the burn effect kept coming through. But the Kaijus were coming in clutch, all throughout these first 3 rounds. The first 2 wins, the Kaijus were very clutch. Then I went against Eldritch. Eldritch game, 4th round. Yeah, I went against Eldritch in the 4th round. This one my tie came in. So, we had a very long, like 20, 25 minute game 1, very back and forth. And really the weakness of my deck is other control or, other control decks, control or stun decks. So that's it was a hard matchup. But then I was able to seal the game 2. And then game 3, we were sad, and then, we had like 2-some minutes left. And You know, he just sat, you know, all the way through. And I'll be honest, you know, that a lot of people be upset at that, but, you know, that's part of the game, too. And I recognize because, you know, we both only got one loss. If, you know, shoot, he could risk going first and get to me, then I, you know, find a way to burn him. And then, you know, get back to him. We don't have enough time for him to actually, you know, capitalize. So, you know, shoot, in that case, you know, you got to, the better thing is to take the top because you're trying to get the top cut so you can play for the prize. You see what I'm saying? That's, you know, the Swiss is just to get into the top cut to get eligible. But so that was my tie. And then went on a little tear. You know, I went up against Maricess again. I was able to beat him. Beat him 2-1. Got him game 1, game 2. He was able to grab it. Game 3, I kind of felt, you know, I kind of cheesed him. You know, he ended up getting caught up in a Mystic Mine and I think it was a Summon Limit. I had a Mystic Mine and a Summon Limit up, and he really couldn't do nothing, couldn't do damage. You know, like I said, Trickstars, you know, started burning me, couldn't hurt me, and I ended up, you know, winning the game, you know, off of life points. And last round of Swiss, I went against Sword Soul. And it was crazy, shoot. I went first. I had a Gozen set, and then he revealed Long One. So I chained the Gozen to the Long One reveal. I think he dished a Shuna. And so he was just, he had to summon the Long One in defense position and it's a fire. So Gozen had him stuck. Went back to my turn. I had a Golden Lord in hand. I used Golden Lord and I summoned Candina. Candina added me a Trickstar reincarnation. I used Golden Lord in the reincarnation to get rid of his own Long One. And then I used Golden Lord to get rid of the field spell to bring him out. And so now, you know, I'm basically, you know, I'm about to go for an OTK. And I already had a Lycoris on field. So, you know, normally I linked off now. I basically, you know, went into an OTK. And it was so crazy because I linked them all, went into a Holly Angel. Banished the reincarnation, bring out the Candina. So, you know, when the Candina summons to the Holly Angel, you know, Holly Angel will burn you. So that's 200, 400. You getting burnt. Then she gains 200 every time you Trickstar monster burn. And it's from her effect. So she was at 22. So then I attack, you know, I start with 35, 22. Boom. Hit her with, try to hit him with 18. Then I had a Core Bane in hand. So then I activated the Core Bane. And then he had a droplets. He hit the droplets. You know, I did do it, you know, right before damage cap, during the damage step. And I had a reincarnation set, so I was like, okay, reincarnation. I banished this hand, and I activated the reincarnation again to bring out the Lycoris. And the Lycoris attack for game, so that was OTK. And then game 2, he did, you know, a little Sword Soul play, you know, going to the back seal, going to the, you know, the level, the level 8 Yang Zing, you know, stop light. So he did that play, you know, play around Nib. And I had Ash and Perm Nib. That was in my hand. And after that, he did that. He activated Desires. I asked the Desires. Then he summoned Moye, revealed. And then I just went Imperm on the Yang Zing. And he just scooped and walked off. Like, the guy was upset. But I ended up, you know, shoot. That round went X11, you know, 6 rounds. And I ended up, you know, getting 8, you know, the 8th seed. Now, I got defeated real bad. I bricked hard. I played against Peyton. Peyton, well-known player in the Mississippi area, one of one-up TCG players. He was on striker, and he was able to, you know, I lost 0-2, shoot. I kind of bricked. I could have tried to stay in there, you know, but I really went, my hands weren't really defensive. And once he got going, you know, once Sky Striker gets going, once they're able to dump their spells, get it back in, get the engage going, get Ray going, you know, it's really a wrap. But I had so much fun. I enjoyed it. I played a real creative deck. You know, I've been working on, like people said, I ain't never seen nobody play a deck like that. In the top cut, I believe, in the top cut, we had one Drytron. Drytron ended up winning it. We had a Flu player. So Drytron, Flu, we had 2 striker. Yeah, we had 2 striker players. We had a Brave Brave Branded Eldritch. I know we had a Pure Punk. We had my Trickstar deck, and I think we had 1 Sword Soul. So that basically made up our top 8. But that's pretty much it. You know, I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Really enjoyed being there. Once again, like and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys updated. You know, try to post more content. You know, I'm working on the live duels. I've been recording stuff, trying to get it together, you know, see how I want to do it, you know, shoot this, you know, this is the early parts of my pages. But, you know, I'm trying to, you know, get more content up. But I just wanted to talk to y'all about that experience on this case tourney. And also, I ended up pulling the Sprite Blue and the Sprite Gigantic in my half a box. So that was a big, you know, shoot, because that's what I wanted. Shoot, I really wanted a Sprite Blue, you know, pull whatever I could, because, you know, I want to play Sprites for this format, you know, as a main deck. But I'm going to keep it pushing, and, you know, I appreciate y'all. Have a good one.